Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni, this time looking at some housing items. In fact, the last few that we've missed off the list previously that were added to the game in patch 5.4 in particular, not 4.1. And those items are the grilled eel set, the Shakshouka pot, sorry if I've butchered that, and the homemade cookie set. I thought I'd do this in one video because they're all pretty much tabletop foodie kind of items apart from the last one, and they're all crafted as opposed to anything else. So without further ado, let's look at this eel set first. It says, an Eastern delicacy that fills stomachs as quickly as it empties coin purses. Connoisseurs advise eating only the smallest amount at a time, so as to make it last as long as possible. And if we look under the search results as we looked earlier, you'll see the grilled eel set is a basic level 80 cooking recipe, not requiring any masterworks or specialty recipe or anything like that. Very basic, using 1 black eel, 2 koshu sticky rice, 2 oriental soy sauce, and 1 garden beet sugar to make. This item then, if you're wondering, because I know a lot of people will be, and that's the purpose of this video, looks like this. Let's have a quick look in there, nice and close. You'll notice that there is quite a bit of steam coming off of this pot, which is lovely, nice attention to detail. I do like it when that happens, and you'll see that you've got a bit of a soup going on here. You've got chopsticks at the front, which are these nice red chopsticks, and we've got these grilled eels, which actually kind of almost look like kippers to me personally. These are very big eels then, very big. When I think of an eel, I only think of something quite short, maybe half the size of one of these chopsticks. But there we go, if we rotate this round, you can see all of that lovely steam coming off the food, signaling it being very hot then. We've also got pieces of cucumber, I believe, cut at an angle here, sort of slanted cucumber, and what appears to be slices of lemon. I know that lemon's quite nice on fish, so, I mean, I've never eaten an eel before, but I would imagine that that would go quite well. I imagine it being quite stringy, maybe quite succulent meat. And then what appears to be onion and some kind of broth here to dip into. So very nice. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are more educated than me in the methods of this food and what it tastes like, so please do let me know below. This, of course, is a food item, and if you consume everything within it, then it will look completely different. We can demonstrate that for you if you like, although this is the cardinal sin when it comes to actually eating house food stuff, is that you're not actually supposed to eat it. I still wish that one day we get an ability to turn off the consumption of the food, just use it as a housing item. But as you can see, as you consume it all, you get an empty box. Now this, in many other ways, could be incredibly useful, just simply as decoration. You might not perhaps want the soup or the lemon or the eels in the box. You could use this box as something else. Imagine this rotated and clipped in a certain way. You could probably use this as like a cosmetic box or something like that, if you get my drift. Perhaps you don't, but I'm sure there are some creatives out there right now looking at this and going, actually, that's not a bad idea, Meoni. Rotate this around, clip that down a little bit. You've got yourself a box that can be used for many other things. So that's what that looks like with no foodstuffs inside of it, which is one of the many benefits of doing videos on these, much to some people's disagreement. Recently, there's been a few people commenting that they don't like the fact that I spend 5 minutes looking at a cup. Well, simply don't watch the videos is my reply to that. Secondly, then we have the Shakshouka. Now, I've butchered that probably. It says, of the many and varied ingredients that comprise this dish, it is the humble hen's egg that takes center stage. So is this like, let's see, is a Shakshouka pretty much like a ramen then? Ooh, that does look a little bit ramen-y, doesn't it? That does look a bit ramen-y. So to create this then, once again, we're going back into our recipes, because the Shakshouka, or however you want to pronounce this, is actually a 4-star difficulty level 70 cooking recipe. So it shouldn't actually be that much of a challenge to you either way. Using 1 koshu pork, 2 Dravanian paprika, 2 Desmel tomatoes, 1 Gargana egg, 1 dragon pepper, and 1 thyme. Combining that all together creates 3 Shakshouka meals. And I've just read the wrong one, I believe. Yes, I have. But the differences is practically nothing, really. They've swapped out the kosher pork for ovin meat. So it uses 1 ovin meat, 2 Dravanian peppers instead of... 1 Dravanian pepper instead of 2. 1 blood tomato instead of desmal tomatoes. A lorikeet egg instead of 1 Gargana egg. Dragon pepper and thyme remains the same. So it's pretty much similar ingredients then. I was confused there. I was reading completely the wrong one. So this is a level 80 basic craft then. Requiring nothing other than just basic level 80 cooking. I'm completely potato. I apologize in advance, but there are the actual ingredients needed to create this on screen. I would edit that out, but I don't believe in editing everything out. You can see my failures there in front of you. So let's have a look at this Shakshouka up front then. Nice and zoomed in. Oh, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? That hen's egg, actually. Very pretty. Let's hide that. And then we can rotate round. So it's got this big pot then, this big pan that looks like it's served in the thing it was cooked in, which is very likely this cast iron receptacle served on a wooden thingy. You get this in certain fancy restaurants, don't you? Like steak sometimes served on wood platters like this. And we've obviously got the thyme decorated on the top here with the egg in the center and all those tomatoes and the rest of it. It actually sounds like a really nice meal. And I wouldn't be surprised if a Recipe Reborn, an amazing YouTube channel, actually recreates this. In fact, you should all go and say, a Recipe Reborn, please make the Shakshouka, if they've not already, because it looks absolutely delicious, and I would love a recipe for this. I would love to see this being made in real life. The other thing then that you can't do in a housing menu is to eat it all, so we're going to show you what an empty pot looks like. A lot of people might see this as sacrilege, but you'd be surprised the many benefits of empty containers and what they can look like. Here we go. This is the last one. Yeah, so the difference there then is that it still steams, which is very interesting actually in terms of a housing item. So once it's consumed, the spoon actually is placed inside the bowl itself. The bowl is still steaming. This has got many benefits. There aren't many items like this that steam that don't have anything in them, and the spoon in the side there doesn't really bother me that much. This could be clipped into something to create a steam effect. This could also be just in a kitchen, for example, if you want to show washed pots and unwashed stuff. I really like this actually. It's really cool. It's very different to see the spoon basically moved. I wish, for example, that they had done the same with the chopsticks and moved those into the container perhaps, or something like that, showing that it was dirty. Very cool, and you wouldn't know that unless we'd actually previewed it firsthand. So there we go, let's plop that over there. And our final item then is actually the homemade cookie set. It says, this decorative ornament is ideal for giving guests the impression that one is an accomplished culinarian. Little will they know that the dough is in fact entirely inedible. So is it Play-Doh then? Let's have a look at this then. So it's not edible dough. This is like a Play-Doh kids demonstration thing. That's kind of cool actually. So this is yet another craft, as you might imagine, since I'm opening the recipe book. And to create this then, you will need to have cooking at level 80. It is a basic 80 craft, using 2 upland wheat flour, 2 garden beet sugar, 1 lorikeet egg, and 1 yak milk. Very simple ingredients then, and makes this lovely decorative item. It has no interactions, it isn't classed as food, it is a tabletop item. In terms of its dyeability, it is not dyeable. So there's that. Unfortunately, I would have liked to dye the wood, but it is what it is. But it is quite a nice item, isn't it? As we go in nice and close now for a close-up, you will see that it comes with a rolling pin, cactuar and Mughal cutters. By the way, there are certain companies like Loot Cave who make these, and other Etsy stores. I wish Square Enix themselves would make a set of cookie cutters exactly like this, because they look fantastic. Look at that, the Cactuar and the Moogle cookies there. Fantastic. We've got a broken egg over there. We've got some milk and we've got some flour. And then we've got, obviously, this rolling pin with dust on it. This is really quite nice, isn't it? Quite a nice item. As we rotate this round, it's going to look a bit weird. But there we go, just so you have a better demonstration. The bag is slightly open on the flour there. The milk isn't open. It has nothing written on the side of it, sadly. And yeah, it is what it is. So if you're into your baking and you would like some backdrop stuff for your kitchen, I can think of nothing better than this, personally. It's definitely something that I would love to include in my housing space if I was creating a kitchen to give that effect. But then again, all of these items could easily be used in that, couldn't they? They really could, including this bowl from the Shakshouka, which is finished. There we go. Let me know what you think about these items. Do you think they have potential? Do you think you could create something by combining these items like I was thinking with the Shakshouka pot? Or do you think I'm completely insane? Either way, these videos will continue regardless of people's feedback. I know a lot of people are saying, but we can preview house furnishings ourselves. We don't need a 5-minute video on cookies. Well, unfortunately, there are plenty of people, or fortunately for me, there are plenty of people who do like these videos, and as much as it might not be your cup of tea, there are plenty of other videos being created and that are present on the channel that will suit all different tastes. So I'll continue to do that. Thank you kindly for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know if you've got this yet, and I'll see you all next time. Much love, stay safe out there, and enjoy playing some games. That's my intention. Bye-bye.